All right, everybody. Damn, I was gonna make this video last night. Um, and I don't even know where I'm going with it. I'm just, I got some things to say, but I don't have any conclusions. Right? I'm just thinking. Um, anyway, so let's finish this. Let's do it. I grew up Christian. My dad was a Catholic, and me. I'm an agnostic now, so I don't know. I think there's something out there, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. Um, although I do like the Moses stuff. That's pretty cool. I like the Sumerian stuff too. That's also pretty cool. Anyways, um, so I was just learning one day, and I was learning about the Jews from thousands of years ago, 2,000 plus years ago. You know, BCE, right? Times. And it was fascinating to me. I was learning about these debates between these Jews, and they were like, ooh, they were just like, ooh, they were getting into each other. Like one side really didn't like the other. It's kind of like a political thing nowadays, but it was like a theological thing. And you know how that can work. Sunni versus Shiite or Catholic versus Protestant. So those theological fights can get nasty. Um, but I was learning, and it was fascinating. I was just like, my jaw dropped open. I was like, what? What? Um, but apparently, and there's probably more divisions than this, but I think one of the divisions was based on hell, right? There were a group of Jews that believed in hell, and there were a group of Jews that didn't. They said hell doesn't exist. And I was just like, what? How what? Like I can't conceive of a Mosaic person saying that, but there was, and it was interesting. Um, Now, for me, in my own life, I have come to the conclusion that, I do believe that in hell. And maybe it's not an after time place when our souls get freed from time and we enter into an infinity state. Um, Maybe not. But what I do know is that there's some people in this world who are just miserable. They're just miserable. And sometimes there's some people who are just miserable for a time. And sometimes we shouldn't even call it misery because sometimes it's just sorrow, you know. And sorrow happens. It's a natural, healthy state that happens every now and then. Now, if you keep it going and going and going, then you're in the first one where some people are just fucking miserable. And like I was just flipping through Facebook right now, and some guy was talking about this guy. He was on the game show one time to tell the truth, and like his daughter uncovered all these murders that he had done, like that. And but it's like, hell is real. Like, hell is real. It's something that we experience within life. But what can we say about evil, or what we would just nowadays call toxic people. You know, narcissists or the haters. You know, the lazy. So a lot of people would call me lazy, but I'm not fucking lazy. I work hard. In my brain, though, my brain's working, my body's not. Anyways, toxic people, like they all put on a mask. You know, the man or woman who breaks your heart is gonna say, "I love you." You know, it's not like these movies that they make nowadays. Which again, I can defend that form of storytelling. It's like a Lord of the Rings. A lot of movies nowadays are like a Lord of the Rings type storytelling where you have good versus evil. You know, but you have to divorce yourself from that story. You know, you can't, fucking walk around like Strider like a fucking idiot. You know, you know, I mean, it's just cheesy and stupid. Um, uh, um, but you can see that story as your own internal battle. You know, I mean, sometimes we've all done bad things. You know, um, but right now we're talking about a state of being, and if you've made a mistake in the past, but it's like an ebb and a flow, but hopefully you're striving towards the good, you know and the good is just a happy fucking life, you know fucking eating good food, being around good people, and working for something, shit. Yeah, working for something. I mean, that's you can have a decent life like that, Um, but and that's a state of being, and that's a state of being that's the opposite state of being of the people who are miserable. But again, these like toxic people, they put on a mask. They put on a mask of normalcy and shit in order to fool the world, you know. Um, but they're weak, They put on a front of love. They put on a front of strength. They put on a front of wealth, but they're weak and poor, you know. And now one might be able to say that, and I don't necessarily believe in this. I'm just throwing out thoughts here. But one might be able to say that Satan and all the devils who are weak, pathetic, um, maybe they're just having a different type of relationship with God.